Here we go. Hello, I am thrilled to introduce you all to Grapevine. So my name is Benjamin, this is my co-founder Cedric, and we have actually known each other since kindergarten. And in the 13 years that we have been best friends, there have been a lot of Friday nights where we have wondered, what should we do tonight? What is the fun thing happening? And the problem really is that it is hard to organize and attend events with your friends. Social anxieties prevent people from initiating events, and there's no centralized source of information where people can figure out what's going on at any given time. In fact, 64% of college students have felt very lonely in the past year. Grapevine is a mobile app that provides an easy way for people to organize and find events with their friends by letting users share posts with others. Here's how it works. Grapevine offers organizers the opportunity to post events that are completely customizable, so they can choose exactly who can see their post, how large the event is, and a bunch of other factors like that. Grapevine offers the general user a centralized source of information so that they can have one place to look to figure out exactly what's going on. All in all, this creates stress-free social events, which is exactly the goal. There are quite a few people on the market now who are competing with us, but we think all of them miss the mark because frankly, our peers do not use these platforms to find out where the parties are at. Grapevine offers a streamlined organization process so that people can have their events run smoothly from start to finish. We allow people to search for their friends and attend the exact events that their friends are also going to. We provide voluntary anonymity when posting events to remove that social anxiety associated with being the one to initiate. And finally, let's face it, these platforms on the left here that are our competitors, you don't find parties on those. You don't find the cool events that kids want to attend on a Friday night. Grapevine is exactly where you will find those. So our customer profile is the 15 to 29-year-old high school student, college student, recent grad, the fear of missing out, wants to party, have a good time, but doesn't know where to do it. And Grapevine shows them exactly where. It turns out that there are actually tens of millions of people in that exact market right now. Our go-to-market strategy is simple. We start at one school, start with our friends there, and create a strong Grapevine community before moving on to subsequent schools. We actually already had 11,500 users at UC San Diego, which is 35% of the entire UC San Diego population. There are articles about us in the San Diego Union Tribune and the LA Times, so if you want to learn more about us, you can check us out there. We've already had over 61 events posted, and one of them was this one last month. It was a Grapevine organized capture the flag game in San Diego. And one of our participants, Leo, said this. He said, because of Grapevine, I didn't have to spend Friday night alone. And that's exactly what the point is. Right now, there are so many studies showing the link between loneliness and poor mental health. And in a world with the Grapevine, we overcome that. In a world with Grapevine, we can finally say goodbye to loneliness and improve mental health among students. And that is something that everybody can get behind. Thank you.
Great job, Ben. Right on time. Over to you guys for questions.
There used to be something called Foursquare, and you could post like where and check in, like I'm at a restaurant and check in that you were there. And I think one of the issues that came up with that was there were some safety concerns. Are those similar things that you're worried about with Grapevine?
Yeah, absolutely. So Ben and I are very active in content moderation. So any new post that appears on this MVP that we have going at UC San Diego, we moderate and we check in with our users, and we assess to the fullest extent of our ability the safety of that event. And if there's any event that we deem a threat to student health and well-being, we have the full power to remove that event.
Yes, but also what about the risk on the user side, right?
Right.
Somebody going to a party who shouldn't be.
I see. Okay, that's a really good question. So if they're at these events, the liability, it does ultimately fall to the user. So when, if someone is choosing to attend a party or, capture the flag game or anything else that's organized, they are, ultimately accepting the risk that comes along with that. But again, we try to, just from the very get-go with the platform itself, make sure that the type of events are going to be as safe as possible.
What's the revenue model?
Advertisements. So right now, we've been contacted a number of times by people wanting to put ads on the site, but at the current moment, we've rejected those offers. We want to keep the site ad-free, and we're focusing primarily on user acquisition. And once we have a large user presence and user base, then we'll start putting advertisements on the site.
Yeah. Advertising is very easy to implement later on once we have that large user base built up.
Are you going to be fully reliant on community curation, or are you as organizers also going to play a role in curating some of the events that would be happening?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So a little bit of both. One, it is very community based, and like Ben said, we're kind of doing this the Facebook method of going school by school and curating little Grapevine communities that then grow naturally, and that's what we saw at UCSD. So in the very beginning, I was very active in posting events, so bonfires, parties, capture the flag games, and then once people at UC San Diego kind of saw that Grapevine was a cool and interesting thing to use, and that it was adding value to their lives, then we saw a lot of events just being posted naturally.
Yeah, and one thing that I would add too is that the reason Cedric and I are making Grapevine is because this is a product that we genuinely want to use. So I think we're both planning on fully using it and like helping keep it active simply because we think it's really, really cool. So there's no kind of like founder bias even in that we want to use it just as users as well.
And apologies if I missed this, but is it something at the onset that is being that is exclusive for the schools that you're partnering with, or is that just your primary method of getting people on it first?
That's just our primary method of getting people on it first. So our plan, we want to go, hit many of the universities, in the United States, but we don't see ourselves stopping with college students. We see this as being something that everyone could use, but, our target audience and the easiest users to acquire initially are college students.